Hi again then guys, and so we've got another PP specific circuit setup for you today, and this time it's another requested tune, a 500 PP tune for the Alfa Romeo 156. Brilliant sleeper car, a lot more powerful than I personally expected it to be back when I first bought it. And this 500 PP setup is at its best and at its happiest on more wider open tracks, not necessarily Special Stage Route X, but stuff more like Monza or the Le Mans or Mategi, that kind of track where you can really use this car's low weight, high power and very, very good mid-range and top-end acceleration. Now I've gone for racing soft tyres, but obviously everyone has their own personal preference. I've increased the rear brake balance to 6, and one of the reasons for that is to stop it from lunging as much under braking, as front-wheel drive cars are sometimes inclined to do. For the suspension, we've got the ride height 20mm higher on the back, and that's pretty much just to even out the body. Springs, we've rounded off to 550 and 375. The dampers to 4, anti-roll to 5. You don't need any camber on this one or any other front-wheel drive car. Neutral toe. I would recommend doing the gearbox last, as usual, so we'll come back to that. For the diff, we've got the lowest initial torque, lowest acceleration, and as far as braking, I would recommend playing around with that, because it does change your handling slightly, and I think more so if you don't use active steering. Personally, I like to use active steering, but as I said, play around with it. You can have it on the lowest setting, on the highest setting, and just see what works best for you and your driving style. As far as power, we do have an oil change on this one. We've got the sports computer, sports exhaust, the race manifold, race cat, the high RPM turbo, and intake tuning. I have fitted NOS on this one. Obviously that's personal preference, and you want the full weight loss package. So for the gearbox, you want an auto setting of 180. Then for the individual gears, we've got 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1175, 950, and 775 with a final drive of 3350. Now that particular final drive is good for a top speed of about 208 miles per hour, which is pretty good for the 500 PP category, considering this is not a top speed tune. If you need it to do more than that in draft, then obviously lower the final drive a bit more. But as it is, it's fast enough for most tracks, especially at the 500 PP level. So that's it for the mechanical setup. Now let's finally take it out to the track to see how it performs. Now, as far as where I would and would not recommend using this particular car and tune, it is a very fast car. To be sure, it's one of the quickest sports saloons, especially one of the quickest front-wheel drive sports saloons in the game. But being front-wheel drive and having as much power as it does, even in this lower spec tune than when fully tuned, it is more prone to wheel spin than say a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive car. Now that's not an issue on tracks such as here at the Nürburgring, on the Le Mans, on Monza, on Special Stage Route 7, that kind of thing. It works perfectly. But I would not recommend using this car on tracks such as city circuits like Monaco, because it's just not effective. You don't get to use its main advantages, which is its mid-range and top-end power and top speed, and the handling just doesn't suit it. There's too much torque steer, too much wheel spin, and it's just not to its best advantage, really. Overall, though, if you do decide to use this car for the 500 PP level, it is very, very good. A brilliant sleeper car, completely understated. You don't see many people at all using this car, and you will shock people, I guarantee, especially considering that it can do 208 miles per hour without NOS. With NOS, obviously, it gets there a lot quicker. You can get around the Nürburgring in well under 7 minutes with NOS, around 7 minutes without. Obviously, a quicker driver than me could do it even quicker than that. But overall, excellent car. And if you decide to use this tune, obviously, I hope you find it fun, and it is most certainly competitive. So if you'd like to keep up with new tunes like this as soon as they come out, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And as always, thanks for watching.